courtesy of a random bathroom trip. The door is open, hang on. There we go. Start is delayed. We're here towards the end of qualifying for what will be the final race of the ARC calendar year. Here, the ARC Supercars finale at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. As we're getting near the end of qualifying, people are going to be starting their final laps here, or finishing them up. Actually, no, everyone's going to be starting their last one. Currently, there's an absolutely huge skill gap. I just got out of the bathroom, so I haven't seen any of qualifying. Our current pole sitter is Tim Galvin, with 2 minutes flat, pretty much. And then after that, we have AJ Kaneko with a 2:03, Luke Allen on a 2:05, Fidel Fabian 2:07, Zach Saunders 2:08. Never mind, DIVEBOMB just made things a little closer with a 2:minute .68. Not Paul having a seizure, but he's on the front row. Billy Targi improves to a 2:73. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer has a 2:08.59. Connor Hannick has a 2:09.9 and spins in the chase, I think that is. Jackson State with a 2:10.4. I can only assume Jen Torres, well, might have had a better lap than a 2:22.1, but he has lost control, and then something just moved. Carter Ritchie moves up to a 2:07.64, and Matthew Stotts is about to finish up what looks like will be his only lap. Actually, he might cross just in time, I'm not sure. Not by much, unless this is the lap. It is a lap, a 2:09 flat. I'll have to try and do the track guide in the middle of the race. Actually, no, we just had turn 1 there. We can try and squeeze this in if Matthew Stotts can make the lap. Turn 1's a pretty deceitful braking zone. Turn 2, brake at that access road. Be mindful of exit oversteer since you're basically climbing a hill at the apex. Turn 3, trail brake into 3 to stop in time for turn 4. Uphill left, again, mindful of throttle. Turn 5 is not much of a turn, but turn 6 is a tightrope. Don't get on the gas or brake too much, or you'll do that. Stop continues anyway. On the hill up to the run towards these left-handers up to Skyline, the missed apex. Down the hill through Skyline, and into chicane to start the descent down the mountain. And then slowly trickle your way down through the S's. Brake for one last hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Smack the wall one more time. That just evens out with the damaged door on the left side. And then down the very long back straightaway. Stocks is being chased by somebody. I don't know who. Looks like that might be AJ. No, it's his teammate, Zach Saunders. Heading through the chase, the kink is flat, and then we have a heavy braking zone for the chicane. And then we basically have just a slightly heavier braking zone for the last turn, as when compared to T1. Find where the sign is, jam the brakes, final turn. Wasn't the prettiest lap for Matthew Stott, so let's see what it ends up being anyway. No, I didn't see it. I think that was an improvement. Yes, he gained half a second, jumps Jonathan Jurgensmeyer on the way. That advanced kind of quickly. And anywhere. I think that worked in the Discord, right? That's shown up in the chat. No, it didn't. If I can put it in that channel. Alright, so we basically already went down the starting grid, but as we have a minute or two to kill, the starting grid is pole sitter will be the Zach Galvin. No, Tim Galvin. I got their names. Darn it. They joined at the same time and they have almost the same numbers. Followed by Dylan Baum, AJ Kinnickel, Fidel Fabian, Luke Allen, Zach Saunders, Billy Targi, Carter Ritchie. These two qualify together a lot. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Matthew Stotts, Connor Hennick, I think is making the only Supercars start he's gotten this season. Jen Torres with not the best qualifying performance I've ever seen from him. And starting last will be Jackson Tate. The red lights are now green, and we are green from Bathurst for the final race of the 2022 season. Just in general, not even in this series, which is the last race of the year. AJ Kinnickel gets up to third stays in third, holding off a little bit of pushy driving from Luke Allen. Zach Saunders up to fifth off the race start. Looking for fourth maybe on Luke Allen. He's not going to quite find it though. He's not going to get enough momentum on the way into the turn. They begin their truck up the hill for the first time. And Throat disagrees with what's going on here. FBR driver's too wide in the middle of sector 1 here. Carter Ritchie will pull away as his teammate just backs up. Overtaken by Jen Torres, is already up 3 places off the start. The game is a little louder than I'd expected, but I can't change that now. This is being broadcasted on my PS5, where I do not have access to the original audio settings I used to have, so we're just going to have to live with the louder cars. The top 4 are pretty spread apart. But Luke Allen is leading a train of 3 down the back straightaway. Dylan Baum is the leader. He has taken the lead off of the start, away from Tim Galvin. It's amazing what Dylan Baum is capable of when that clown's not here. Did I say that out loud? Oops. Moving on then. Not really been any major dramas heading through lap 1 here at Mount Panorama. I always want to say Mount Bathurst. No. Mount Panorama's the mountain. Bathurst is the city over there behind the track. It's more of a town, but it's still there. And I've got a big run on Matthew Stotts. Can he convert it into an overtake heading up towards turn 2? Very aggressive on the brakes, and he'll just sneak on ahead. Matthew Stotts really didn't have much of a defense against that one. One of the 3 viewers make sure that the mic is working this time, since this is once again on PS5. I checked myself, but that would require me unplugging the mic so it can be heard. So I can hear it, I should say, and that means I can't commentate if my mic's not in my controller. What the? That was weird. The camera was underneath some grass there, I think. These cars are the only ones really near each other on the track right now. Luke Allen is leading basically a 4.5 car train. I think it might be 5 soon enough, since I think Jan Torres has, well, more pace than his qualifying performance would have implied. Zach Saunders clips the curb and is wildly out of control. Carter Ritchie will take full advantage of that instance, and he'll advance to 6th. Fidel Fabian under some threat from Luke Allen. Other way around. He's putting the pressure on Luke Allen. My brain is slow right now. I almost forgot this race is even happening, so it kind of caught me a little off guard when I had the realization of, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's 5:30. The race is in half an hour for me. Oh no. I just got done recording a video for my own channel right before this, so my throat's not in the best shape as it is, and I gotta commentate here for a little over an hour. Not great, me. Not great. Yeah, that 30 lap counter up there is just as imposing as you might think. This is going to be a 30 lap race, 2 minutes per lap, so we're looking at a 60-minute race. It's actually a little more than 2 minutes a lap, so it might be like 62, 63-minute race. And that's if we don't have any yellow flags, which, it's Bathurst. That's kind of unlikely. The train's kind of split into groups of 3 now. Fidel Fabian's right on the back of Luke Allen. Carter Ritchie's kind of on his own, and then we have Jen Torres kind of on his own a little bit, and Connor Hannick is closing in little by little on Zach Saunders. Oh, Fidel Fabian is right there now. He's going to get to the inside of Allen. Can he brake late enough to make it stick? Allen, they're about dead even as they head out of the turn. And dead even still heading into the first corner of the next lap. Finally, Fidel gets his elbows out a tiny bit, and he takes the lead for the moment, but Luke Allen did get a good exit there. But I don't think it's quite good enough to try and take that spot back. So Fidel Fabian puts himself in P4. I say that Luke Allen is definitely there. He's going to try. Nope, he's going to think better of that. Fidel Fabian did in fact have the perfect braking zone spotted, so there wasn't a chance of Luke Allen taking that back if he wasn't alongside already. Unless he felt like trying to smack into a wall to get it done, which I don't think Luke Allen wants to do that. Just made a quick check to see if there was mic audio. It seems as though there is, since the prompt says mute microphone, not unmute. Only one viewer. Wow. Probably because of the delayed start on the stream, if I had to guess. We're seeing Zach Saunders, who must have been recently passed by Connor Hannock. He's right back on his rear wing. He's going to try and endeavor to take P8 back. He's not having the best look, though, by the looks of things. It's just 4 laps in the books here at Bathurst, and already this race is looking pretty spread out. Not everyone's in a completely different part of the track. We obviously have a group of like 3 running up this part of the hill. Fidel Fabian is ahead of, but he's not getting all the way away from Luke Allen. And Carter Ritchie is also breaking even with them. And then we also have Zach Saunders versus Connor Hannock. I almost called him Connor Hannock. That is not it. Oh, Connor has just smacked the wall. And Zach Saunders just gets all the way out of the throttle to avoid a major cataclysm. Hannock is off the track again, and that is a position gained. So, a race of attrition has determined who runs in P8 for most of this race. I believe a mistake from Saunders gave the position to Hannock, and then a mistake from Hannock gives it back to Zach. Well, that's not AJ Knickel there, that's the lapped car of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, who's just come out of the pits. Ahead of the mid-pack. And he's gonna just get off the gas and not be in the way here. I have to remember that. The trackside cam makes the cars a little quieter, so I need to use that occasionally too to be actually heard. It seems as though this is the only place worth putting the camera at, the battle for P4 between Fabian, Allen, and Ritchie. They might be going too wide through the chase here. This is always sketchy. Fidel Fabian, in his efforts to give space, takes a bit of grass along the way. And gets his elbows out to defend heading into the chicane itself. Did Luke Allen get a good enough exit to challenge into the last turn? He has, but he backs out. And all the while, Carter Ritchie is now officially a part of the gang here, looking for P4. Luke Allen's going to try the inside at turn 2. Fidel Fabian is able to brake aggressively on the outside. And that puts Luke Allen under threat from Carter Ritchie now, as he wants to take advantage of their consistent battling. As they've been battling since like the end of lap 2, I would say. As Jackson Tate disconnects, he was in the very back of the race, so it's hard to say if that's a disconnect or if that's just, I'm done. Carter Ritchie asks too much of the car, he finds a barrier. Connor Hannick is pitting. Interesting. I'm not really the most intense talker at the moment. That's mainly because there's not a whole lot of action on the racetrack. These two are the only ones that actually like battling. I was about to say it's not a very close battle, but Fidel's got a pretty bad exit there, so it just got a lot closer. I'm mainly trying to preserve my vocal cords for if the race gets exciting near the end. I want to be able to actually show excitement and not sound like a ghoul. Yeah, Zach Saunders disconnects, so add to the attrition. That one may be slightly more possible that was an actual lag out. Just like Daytona, I can't really do a whole lot into the chase because all of the cars are reaching their top speed before we brake for the hairpin. Hairpin? The chicane. Riker, have you even seen a racetrack before? That's chicane. Suddenly yawning. Luke Allen's getting back up to the tail of Fidel Fabian. It's been a consistent tug of war between these two since the green flag flew. And, well, they've been about the only place worth putting the camera on this entire event so far, as we're about to reach lap 10 of the event. DIVEBOMB took the lead off the starting grid, and he is yet to waver up to this point. Tim Galvin's second place, about 2 to 3 seconds back usually, and AJ Knickel's a distant third. getting close quarters, heading down towards the chase. But again, everybody's doing their top speeds, so nobody's gaining, no matter how good you got of a run out of the last hairpin. Well, that's not going to help you gain anything, as Luke Allen finds a little bit of grass, loses a bunch of time to Fidel, and is overtaken by Carter Ritchie heading into the final turn. So that was obviously not an ideal outcome for the 33. Oh, Fidel got a little loose through turn 2 there. Carter Ritchie is right there on his taillights. He wants to take advantage of this. He wants to... I think he's secretly been holding his pace back a little bit to wait and see how things went with these two. But the second Luke Allen made a mistake, he's decided to pick his moment. I think Carter Ritchie might be the 4th fastest car, and he's about to try and prove that right now. But finding the space to make an overtake here at Bathurst is not easy. Mount Panorama itself is probably what I would consider the 3rd most difficult track in motorsports. The only 2 tracks more difficult in my opinion are the Nürburgring, Nordschleife, and Spa. Yes, I would say this track is harder than Le Mans. Le Mans on its own isn't really that difficult. The difficulty comes from driving on it for 24 hours straight. As here we go, now they're too wide through the kink at the chase. Carter Ritchie, Fidel manages to hang on the outside, as he's done a couple of times now. Ritchie's just trying to find any possible lane he can sneak that Ford Falcon into. He's not finding much. He's going to try and send it down the inside. It's a half dive bomb attempt, but there it is. He arrives at the apex, but Fidel on the outside remains in control. And Luke Allen's going to try and insert himself back on the outside. And he may actually make that stick. He got a smooth exit out of one. And Luke Allen's going to take the spot back. So Carter Ritchie chose not the best time to try that move for 4th. He's instead put himself back in P6. As Luke Allen makes a sublime move on the outside of 1. But that's only one war. That's only one battle. That's not the war. Obviously, these 3 still bumper to bumper to bumper. And they're all pretty even, it seems like. It's just a tug of war, as I said it was earlier. Well, we had like the 3 extremes there. We had Fidel with oversteer, Carter Ritchie with understeer, and Luke Allen, the only one that managed to get down that hill with comfort. With more understeer from Carter, puts him out of the equation as we head down the back straightaway again. What will Luke Allen try this time? Fidel defends left, so Luke Allen obviously has to cut back to the right. This time Fidel finds some grass. Luke Allen tries the outside, and eventually Fidel has to concede, so Luke Allen has made 2 passes on the outside in just a lap. That is astounding. And looks like Carter Ritchie took advantage and also got ahead of Fidel Fabian, so he held staunchly for so long, but he makes one mistake and all of that has been undone. Such is the cruelty of motorsport at some times. And now it looks as though Luke Allen's going to make good his escape plan and get away from those two at long last. 10 or so laps later. Can Fidel at least attempt to stick with these two, or is he going to lose the plot entirely after that mistake? And can Luke Allen actually get away, or is Carter Ritchie going to find some more in the tank and chase him back down again? The tug of war hasn't ended yet, per se. Oh, that's a wall, though. That's not good for race cars. Looks like he's kind of sticking with Allen, but not perfectly well. I'm always keeping the occasional eye on the gap for the lead, though. That's kind of been fluctuating, too, as it, as tends to happen throughout the course of a race. Oh, that was a huge turn 2 from Ritchie. He's got himself right back up to Luke Allen there. Well, that gap is coming down significantly now. He's gained a second. Tim Galvin has on the leader, DIVEBOMB, on this lap alone. But this is still closer, so turn our focus here. Fidel Fabian has, in fact, lost track of 4th and 5th. So he is largely out of the equation there. I don't think this is slipstream range for Carter Ritchie, so... Bit of oversteer from Ritchie there. Really didn't allow him to get the exit from the chicane he needed to get up to Luke. Jed Torres enters the pit lane. Must be trying an undercut. Like, a very big one. Battery ran into a wall and picked up damage. Pretty easy to do here is, once again, Ritchie gets a really good run through turn 2. But Allen sticks it back to him most of the rest of the lap. Oh, we might be looking at some trouble here. If Richie gets a good run under the hairpin, he might be able to take P4 back from Allen again. He certainly got an aggressive run under the hairpin. I don't know if it was a very good one, though. Looks to have been about even. So I don't think we'll be seeing much of anything into the chase on this occasion either. No. Luke Allen didn't get the best run of the last turn. Carter Ritchie's going to try it into one. He's unable to claim anything. Instead, he switches back on exit. He focuses on corner exit speed, not corner entry speed. Is that the race winner, or the game-winning play there? He need only get alongside, but Luke Allen is just barely enough ahead. He's going to send it down into turn 2. He barely gets it stopped, but Luke Allen's going to be able to cut back on him. And he will stay in 4th place despite Carter's best efforts. Fidel Fabian makes his pit stop. And the game really wants us to know that Billy Targi invalidated his lap time a long time ago, because that's been there for a while now. As we have passed halfway here at Bathurst, Tim Galvin's gonna pit himself. He's gonna try for an undercut. Or does he have big damage? Because it looks like his back bumper is just swaying. It's hard to tell. So that leaves DIVEBOMB largely uncontested. There is no one else on the track. Really, well, okay, that's a lie. There are lapped cars near him. Fidel Fabian and Jan Torres being those exact cars. Oh, Carter Ritchie wanted to go in, but he's like due opposite. Luke Allen dove in, so he barely managed to keep his car from going over the commitment line. So Ritchie stays out, Allen goes in. Oh, keep it steady there, AJ. I think now's a good time to ride on board with our race leader, since he's got all this clear racetrack. Let's see what he decides to use that clear racetrack for. Does he go in this time and cover off the undercut? Or does he try and maximize his clean space? He's covering... Oh, he's absolutely botched the pit entry, though. That's a critical mistake for our race leader. That's going to probably cost him the lead right there. Because he just missed the entry to the pit lane. Must have forgot that there was a chicane to go on the way in. He passes by Billy Targi as he exits the pits. I should probably get out of this camera now. Even AJ Knickel barely makes his car stop for the entrance. I wonder if Tim Galvin knows what's just happened with his race lead rival. Now is sort of a put the foot down and floor it moment for him. Because a good lap here could net him the race lead once again. Carter Ritchie pits in. He has a successful entry. Be curious to see where he comes out in relation to Luke Allen. Ritchie is only now leaving his box, so I'm fairly certain he's gonna get overtaken by Allen on exit. Now there he goes, but it is a shorter route on the exit of the pit lane. Nope, he's stuck on the pit lane. He has to helplessly watch as fourth place just drives back away from him. DIVEBOMB goes in. This time he does get the vehicle to slow down. And so now we once again have another situation. Where does that put Tim Galvin in relation to DIVEBOMB after his mishap on the previous lap on the way to the pit lane? Bomb exits the pits as Tim Galvin's just passing the pit entry. This time I don't think it'll be the same case. I think DIVEBOMB's gotten away with it. You could argue he gained time from that mistake. Yeah, he's gained about a second on that. I don't know if that's from the mistake or if he just put a really good in-lap in. Or maybe... Well, no, because Tim Galvin ran a 2:02.2. That's a pretty fast lap time himself, so... I don't think he had a bad outlap. I think either Dylan had a really good in-lap, or we're gonna have to kind of double look at that pit entry, because that... Obviously it's a mistake, but at the same time... that's a weird gray area, but I think he'll probably get away with it, because there's no way we can really say... We should have stopped for missing a braking point. Like, not... No? I don't know. All I know is the pit cycle deficit does not keep Carter Ritchie away from Luke Allen for too long. Also, in the meantime, Fidel Fabian got jumped on the pit cycles by Jan Torres. Pretty convincingly so, no less. The thing is, I have no idea what the championship situation looks like right now. I don't think it's clinched. But I don't know the series' point system, and I know that this race is a triple points race, so I triple don't know that point system. All I do know is that Carter Ritchie is once again right on the back of Luke Allen for P4. Luke Allen defends into the last turn. Carter Ritchie says, I don't care if you're forcing me on the outside, I'll try whatever it takes to get this position. Even P4 has been contested pretty heavily since the start of the race. 17 laps straight of battling for this position. It used to be Luke Allen versus Fidel Fabian. Then it was Fidel Fabian versus Carter Ritchie. Now it's Carter Ritchie versus Luke Allen. As we are heading towards turn 2, and once again we might be looking at another send from Ritchie. He is tired of seeing that 33's back bumper. This time, he does get it stopped. That's smooth as they come right there. Now, he has to stay there. Something that everybody that's gotten into P4 so far has had a hard time doing. Yeesh. Making turns like that probably won't help a ton either. That would be a lap car ahead. That is Jurgensmeyer, who is aware of the situation and letting off. Southern doesn't want to interfere with his teammate in his efforts to try and get back into P4. He could have helped his teammate if he so chose, but he was risking a blue flags penalty if he did that. And we've been there before, so it's probably for the best that Jurgensmeyer probably did not attempt that directive. I think Allen can take it back on his own. As I say this, he's gonna darn well try and go down the inside of turn 1, but that just isn't gonna work. A lock up from, I think, Luke Allen pretty much crossed that idea out. Now we have a battle for not last. Looks like Connor Hannock has just pit again. For one reason or the other. Probably damage, based on the shape of his front bumper there. And he is going to try and get back ahead of Billy Targi at least to finish not last in this one. Well, not last on track. He's obviously already finishing not last because we've had 3 people exit the race. Oh, Luke Allen's got a huge snap out of the chase there. And he fittingly has to chase the car to make sure it doesn't spin out on him. Which has given Carter Ritchie much needed breathing room. And I think almost 20 laps later, I think the battle for 4th place has concluded. And barring anything crazy, Carter Ritchie is victorious in this battle. Which is really unfortunate for me as the commentator, because now what do I look at? This is still the closest battle on the track, even though they're 3 seconds apart. Tim is... It's always, again, this is another back and forth tug of war between these two. He was slightly faster on that lap, but he might be slightly slower than him the next. These two are very much at a dead heat. AJ's running practice laps. Carter Ritchie has made a mistake. He's back behind Luke Allen. Well, I did say that opportunity was there for him to make a mistake and lose fourth, so I had to open my mouth. So that's my fault, I guess. Carter, commentator's curse. So now he has to once again make a pass for fourth place. Small walk up from Luke Allen, that might help Carter's cause. So I feel a potential sneeze here. We saw Connor Hannick in the pits for a third time, I think, in this event. His car is probably looking a little more like a Ford Focus than a Ford Falcon by this point. There it was. And that was, in fact, one of the sneezes of all time. And the war rages on. This has basically turned into a full-scale war. Luke Allen has been holding on, or he's been fighting to take or hold on to fourth place literally since lap 1. Multiple mistakes from basically everybody involved in the battle for it. And that's what's kept this battle as a battle, basically. Like, there's no other way to word that. Well, Luke Allen had a terrible exit, and he defends Carter Ritchie nearly to the walls to try and hang on to P4. Carter doesn't care. He's going to give him a little bump. I mean, this is Supercars racing. That kind of thing isn't exactly unheard of, and it's not a crime either. Some door contact. You got fenders, you might as well use them. That's what the Australians say, anyhow, and we are in Australia. Around the outside of 3, nope, this is 2, and that's a wall. And I think that if he got damaged there, that's going to be the end of Carter's bid for P4 with that very cavalier attempt. I'm going to respect the effort there, but the wall doesn't respect a darn thing. It doesn't respect your front bumper. It doesn't respect you either. It's difficult to tell for sure how badly his car was affected or not. It seems like he's driving normally. At the very least, it's not suspension damage. We'll have to see what his straight line speed is like. Oh! Big bobble heading into the hairpin bottom of the hill. No, I don't think he got damage from that. I don't know how not, but it doesn't seem like his car is that badly handicapped. Oh, Luke Allen has spun it though. That's a big handicap. And Carter Ritchie drives into the side of him. With nowhere really to go as Luke Allen's spun vehicle took up the whole racetrack. Is that Hannick there? Yeah, it is, with the car that looks like it came straight out of a junkyard. Tim Galvin has been seeing those taillights on his screen for a while now, but he's just not able to get any closer. There's like a glass ceiling or a force field around Dylan Baum. He can't get with like less than 2 seconds of him. So now it is Luke Allen's task once again to try and get back to P4. Following his spin, he had a chance to pit there if he wanted to, since he spun half a straightaway away from the pit entry, so he must think his car is in decent running condition. We'll have to see if that remains true heading into the last handful of laps here. No, that's the sand. Carter Ritchie's playing a dangerous video game. And for the case of the 2 leaders, I don't know why you'd be saving something this long, but if you are Tim Galvin, you might want to start using it now. We're on 6 laps to go. 2.5 seconds behind. It's obviously still his race if he can take it. He just has to get there. Passing's not actually that hard at this track. You got 3 good places for it. Final turn, first turn, and the chase if you're brave. It's difficult but effective. As there was a lap car off the side of the circuit there. I think he might have heard me, or Dylan made an error, as that gap has come down nearly a second in just the time I've been talking. Over a second, excuse me. Wonder if Dylan Baum was held up by that lap down car, which kind of looks like it might have been a teammate. Yeah, that was Jan Torres. So perhaps maybe Torres took his time a little on the blue flags thing to try and assist his teammate. I don't know what the ruling is on that either, to be fair. But he's gonna be seeing Galvin's headlights now. How well can Baum handle the pressure? History has shown pretty well, but this is Mount Panorama. This is already a difficult track when you don't have somebody's headlights in your rear view. It's getting pretty shady here at the track. I think the sun is beginning to set little by little as we head into the last 5 laps here of the season. And now Tim Galvin has turned on the jets. He is a Ford Falcon on a mission going through the mountain sector. Oh, Dylan Baum has definitely felt the pressure there. That's an interesting rejoin. But it hasn't made a huge difference. Tim Galvin, 26.5 laps later, finally takes back the lead he started in from pole position. The game is definitely on. It is time to play the game. Evil laughter, or something. I don't know. I mean, when there's 3 H's or something, I don't know, I don't watch wrestling. They're definitely close now. The sun is also definitely setting now. 4 laps to go from Bathurst. I told you this race might get interesting towards the end. It seems Tim Galvin was just playing the incredibly long game. And now he has the track position. DIVEBOMB has to get ahead of him. It's not the other way around anymore. Obviously, that's how being in the lead works, forehead. DIVEBOMB caught off guard because he had such a better exit there than Galvin, but he had nowhere to take it other than straight to his back bumper. He doesn't want to do that. Huge oversteer from Dylan. More oversteer. He takes him almost the entire corner just to get the car back under him. Looks like there is no lap traffic in the vicinity, so it is just going to come down to what these two do. I don't think there's going to be anything that gets in the way of this, foreseeably. Does the tug-of-war effect continue as it has throughout seemingly this entire race? Obviously, the tug-of-war effect is pretty relative when both drivers are within half a second of one another here, as we head down towards the chase again. Slipstream gonna be, Alan, you're a bit late on that. I already pointed that out. Slipstream gonna be a little bit of a factor down the first half, but eventually they'll both reach 182 and they'll both hit the limiter. So the best place to pass seems to be the last turn if you can get through the chase well, which, oh boy, has Dylan ever done precisely that. Galvin defends as far inside as he could possibly be. DIVEBOMB tries the far outside and he just overcooks the brakes. A desperate-ish attempt. Not desperate, super desperate, but he threw everything at it, and he threw it a little early, I would say. Oh, and now he's gone and sold. Oh, that's a big impact. And I think that is DIVEBOMB's bid for this race victory at an end. There's no 47 car to blame this one on, my friend. That's just the pressure. The pressure and depression, potentially. And now there's nowhere else to look. Tim Galvin has triumphed over the darkness. Why is this Twisted Metal now? I don't know. Don't ask. Alan just watched a competitor nearly killed himself and he's excited. Oh, brother. I mean, there's still 2.5 laps to go. Tim Galvin's not at the stripe. He's not at the checkered flag yet. And we've certainly seen mistakes from the lead. Mind you, this is a 12-second lead. But it's still the lead. Yeah, some bodywork damage, maybe suspension damage, and definitely emotional damage for the 37 car. It either isn't bad enough that he has to pit, or he just thinks that he needs to not pit to hold on to P2, but that can just beget more damage if he isn't careful. Allen is edging closer and closer, little by little, to Carter Ritchie. You can see him up there. I don't think it's going to be closer enough. As he is at the back, Tim Galvin is now on the back of the blue flag car of Fidel Fabian. They get out of the way. Wow, the shadows in turn 1 are so obnoxious you can't even see the corner. It is just all shadow. As Tim Galvin essentially takes his victory lap. I'm gonna take it with him, I guess. Why not? The sun has set here at Mount Panorama Bathurst. One more run down the hill. The road is just entirely overcome with shadows as the sun lands behind the tree line here. Down the back straightaway one more time. And this has been, as some would say, one of the ARC seasons of all time. Head through the chase one more time. That's pretty much the last hard part done. As Tim Galvin heads up to the last turn, it's going to be victory for him and for HRT here at Mount Panorama Bathurst. An hour later, he takes the checkered flag. Victory. DIVEBOMB with the car that looks like it came out of one of those crushers at the junkyard a little bit. But not nearly as crushed, probably, as his hopes and dreams. I don't know if Tim Galvin's the champion. I don't know the championship standings, per se. I have no idea. I don't know what the point system even is in V8 Supercars. DIVEBOMB does a bit of vehicular breakdancing. And crosses the line for P2, maybe? No. And AJ Knuckle with what must have been one of the most uninteresting races he's ever participated in. I don't think he's seen a single other race car since the end of lap 2. But he's going to make his way through the chase. And he is going to get a podium finish. Did Carter do it again? Oh my lord. Another mistake from Carter Ritchie has granted Luke Allen P4. And he's going to finish there. The battle for P4 went all the way from lap 1 seemingly to the finish. And Luke Allen is going to win the war for P4. Carter Ritchie 5th. Fidel Fabian, Jan Torres, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Billy Targi, and Connor Hannick, the last car running. Oh my word, there's been a death. There's been a murder. I think Billy Targie's messing around in the sand. I don't think he's done with this race. But that is, that will conclude matters in this race, this championship, and in the ARC 2022 season. But it won't be too long before the next one begins. We have a bunch of, we have some provisional championships, like a realistic Formula 1 championship. What's the NASCAR thing? I don't know. There's a realistic F1 championship. There's a karting series in GT7 that's not really here, though. Project Cars 2, I think, is going to be off for a bit. But next, I believe, is GT3, so that'll be a treat, as I am somebody who's more of a GT guy than a V8 Supercars guy, but... And then the actual seasons of AF1 and the, AF1, ARC NASCAR, that all kicks off in early February. I assume with the Daytona 500, followed by everything else. So, whatever the case may be, this is Riker Lummel, the ARC commentator, who's commentated what feels like every race this year, been awfully close, signing off.